Hold on. I'm gonna get this here. Oh, come on, man. What's up, people? This is part 2 on this Dr. Stephanie Bruss, B-R-U-S-S, psych evaluation. Okay, so as I'm reading, as you know, I calm down and I'm reading it and stuff. Let me explain to you how she committed fraud, conspiracy, and lies. Okay, she says here, all right, making threats of violence and disorderly conduct. That's what I was charged with. Because I said that I'm coming after you, what the law says I got a right to do, and what the Constitution right says I have a right to do for violating my constitutional rights. She don't put that in there, though, okay? Then this is where she lies at, where all of her lies gets caught up, okay? She says here in her report, the following background information was provided by the defendant during the current interview, unless otherwise a specialized or specified. It should be note that it was difficult to gain useful information from him because of his some shit. I can barely because of his something. I can barely see it. I can barely see these words because it's hard to read because they're so small. So anyway, she puts all of this about where I was born, blase, about 9/11, lost my sisters, Tower 1, lost a lot of friends in 9/11, a lot of friends. And then she puts here, said he lived in California for some time before moving to Minnesota. Never moved to Minnesota yet. Never moved to Minnesota. Coming back and forth to Minnesota, visiting ex-wife, blase. Okay, then she says here, which is a huge fucking lie. This is how her interview goes, which is a huge lie. Okay, where she states that I get disability, which I've been getting since 1963. Okay, he was denied food and medical assistance. I never said that. When I was going through the divorce, what I stated was, and it's on recording, because you see, my little gadget right here records everything. I got so many spy shits, man. It's unbelievable, man. You know, and that's what caught my eye as I'm reading this when I never said that. Okay, I said I had no money because the courts allowed her, my ex-wife, to clean out the bank account. That's what I stated. That's what I said. That's in my complaints. That's all over court records. All right, all over court records. The divorce judge, allowed her to remove all money from accounts. That's what I said. I couldn't even get food assistance because we had to do the paperwork and it took so long. And I said, how do you like to eat cat food or dog food? Well, that's what the fuck I had to do. I had to eat a can of cat food. Okay, that's what I told her. Until everything was in the process because it took so long. All right. Never said I was refused medical assistance or anything like that. No, I'm disabled. You know, been getting it since 1963. All right. So then she lies here on the other page. She lies here, okay, about what happened to me. And I stated, no, what happened to me was I was put on fire by guys in white sheets. They were Ku Klux Klans. That's what I said. But she don't put that in her report. Just like she don't put in her report when I told the judge, I know how racist and motherfuckers are in Minnesota. I've seen it all my life. She don't put that in her report. No, she puts what she wants to put in her report. Lies. But this is what really caught my eye here. Okay? She claims here that on 2/6, the EMS was called to the courthouse in Sibling County after Mr. Malillo complained of chest pain. Oh, it was hard for me to breathe. It was hard for me to breathe. They called the cop there called the ambulance, not me. I didn't call shit. So she goes here because he was being arrested. No, that's not true. I turned myself in on a false warrant for violation of my constitutional rights, freedom of speech, freedom of the press. I turned myself in. She lied on that. It shows the records. I turned myself in. Shows the court records. I turned myself in. I was sweating and everything and couldn't hardly breathe. So everything she put in here is a fucking lie. This psych doctor, Stephanie's a liar. She's a liar. Last name Bruss. She's a liar. Okay. Then she puts in here, medical staff observed no symptoms, makes or whatever the hell marks on him. All right. Which I don't understand that. My blood pressure was almost could kill me. My blood pressure was so high, they had to put these things under my tongue to try to lower my blood pressure. See, this is how this fucking person, and I'm going to let y'all see it. This is how this person lied. This is how this person lied. I turned myself in. FBI was called by my buddy because he heard by sources that the judge's husband was going to try to do something to me. They all worked together out there at the courthouse. The FBI was called on it. The FBI was at the airport when I flew in. The FBI was at the airport when I flew in. See, this is how you catch motherfuckers in their lives. They knew the time my flight come in and everything else. They knew the time my flight was coming in and everything. Everything. So then she says here, during an emergency department visit, reported 2 recent falls during which he hurt his head. I don't understand where she's getting this shit. She's putting what she wants to put in there. She's putting what she wants to put in here and everything else, which really looks bad because now I filed a complaint on her and her lies and everything else. And she was more important of lawsuits than she was anything else. And then when she asked me, that's why everything was being recorded. This is why I had all kinds of recordings on me, man, and pictures, dude. I don't go nowhere. Man, let me tell you something, man. I could show y'all how to record every fucking thing. When anybody go near your house, it's being recorded. It's so simple and easy. I even had, which I totally forgot, but I even had my pen in my pocket, and that was being recorded, everything what was saying. But this is what, I even told her about this here on the first page, where she said that, just to let you know, that everything is said will be told to the judge in writing. First of all, that's in violation of my privacy. That's number one. Fuck the court order. Second of all, I told her so many times, you cannot do that. Federal judges ruled psych evaluations are unconstitutional. Federal judges ruled psych evaluations are unconstitutional. I told her that 4 times. On recording, you hear it. Told her that 4 times. Psych evaluations are unconstitutional. Violates the 14th, the 5th, and the 6th Amendment and privacy. No ifs and no buts. So what we couldn't figure out, and then I pulled up all the records, you know, and she goes here about when I got assaulted by my ex-wife. This is part 2, y'all. I'm going through this, man, and a buddy of mine just going through this, and I text them that I took pictures of this and stuff, and we're talking and stuff, and we doing video call, and they reading it, they go, who the fuck is, wait a minute. They even heard about this so-called doctor in California where there's been appellate ruling that her rulings has destroyed people when they was not true. in the appellate court of Minnesota. She needs to be put out of business and sued. Yes. Yes. Because this lady just lied on a report. Oh, this is what really caught my eye right here. When she says, we spent 2 hours. No, we did not. No, I got there at 10. The lady walked me to the room at 10:10. You came in about 15 minutes after 10, 6 or 16 after 10. You introduced yourself, put your hand out. I refuse to shake people's hands. You sat down, you opened up your computer, you talking. We going back and forth because I said, no, I do not consent to that because that's in violation of my privacy. That's what I said. You kept throwing in my face a court order. I don't care about a court order. That's still a violation of my privacy. I got a right to privacy. Then I brought up, and I even showed it, federal law case, unconstitution, Judge Adams, federal law case, unconstitutional for any judge, attorney, prosecutor to order a psych evaluation. That's what I kept telling her both times. So then she goes by all of this bull and stuff. I'm just, whatever. Now, once I told her, but before I go that way, all she cared about, talked about, was the lawsuits that I filed. And if you've seen the first video, I kept asking Terry, what is so important of the lawsuits that I file? Are they going to take over those lawsuits or what? And I think that's what they're trying to do. I think that's what they're trying to do. You know, I think that's what they're trying to do. The state of Minnesota is trying to do that. The crooked judge, racist judge, and everything else. And Terry said, what happened that day? I told the court, y'all some racist motherfuckers. Right on record. I wasn't lying. I don't understand this. How can you charge somebody for freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and freedom of expression? So many courts ruled in my favor. Colorado courts ruled in my favor. So how can you even do this? You know? Go to part 1. You hear even Terry's confused about this. But wait a minute. You wasn't even there, but not even an hour and 45 minutes. I said yes. As soon as I said I was Muslim, she closed everything down. This doctor stopped everything. She stopped everything. All she kept talking about was the lawsuit. That's what she wanted more to know about. The lawsuit, the lawsuits, the lawsuits. I was getting fed up with that. That's none of your business. I even told her, that's none of your business. That has nothing to do with this right here. I am competent to defend myself and been defending myself for years. For years. Then she comes up in the back page. He like, where the hell did she get this from? She goes like, brain something. What the fuck you talking about brain something? Disorderly in the brain? Who the fuck is this person to say that? I've been healthy. I've been on my own for all of these years. But this bitch gonna come out and file false documents. False documents. False documents. Case in Minnesota. This attorney filed an appeal against Dr. Stephanie Bruss of her decision on their clients because she filed false documents on people that were going through divorces and stuff. False medical reports to the courts. The appellate court in Minnesota ruled that Dr. Stephanie, however you pronounce her name, is unconstitutional, and it was wrong to even evaluate a child. That's what it says right here. Minnesota appellate court, appeals court. That's what it says. So she lies just for the courts. She lies just for the courts. That's what she do. She lies just for the courts. Just for the courts. She lies just for the courts. So we reading this and everything I'm seeing, and I'm like, well, goddamn. First they put an IV in me. She's saying there wasn't no IV, no medication. I take heart blood pressure medication. Then she says, I was refused medical assistance. No, I was never refused medical assistance. Where the fuck does she get this shit from, man? This woman is a liar. And I got the right to put her ass on the witness stand and challenge her lies. This is what happened. I went on YouTube. There was a snowstorm. The judge of my divorce let my wife and her attorney commit perjury, all of that shit. That in Minnesota courts, they allow perjury. They allow perjury. And somebody come and challenge me. Contact me. Come and challenge me. Be a man or a woman. Challenge me that I'm telling a lie. Because you can't. You're trying to shut me up. You're trying to shut me up. She allowed perjury, false documents in the courts, identity theft, fraud, conspiracy. That's what this judge did, the divorce judge. I had her ass removed. Then it was handed over to another judge from a different county, which he had no jurisdiction to even rule on anything because he refused to give me another court date because of the snowstorm. My neighbor comes home. I use his computer to do videos and shit. And then he takes it, because he's on the road all the time, So then, all of a sudden, on January 3rd, I was denied to go to court because of the snowstorm. I was stuck in snow, okay? Now, she got in here what she wanted to put in here of the police report, okay? She got in here what she wanted to put in here in the police report. And the funny thing about it is how she lies about the police report is that I said, quote, unquote, I'm coming after you what the law says I got a right to do. And the constitutional right says I got a right. That's what's on the video. She don't put it in there. He called them racist, punk, asshole judges. I got the right to say that. That's in the Constitution. I got the right to say what I want to say, my feelings, my expressions, and everything else. I got a right to call you racist. I got a right to call you a punk, a bitch, a clown, a dog, a hoe, whatever. I have that constitutional right to free speech. God gives me my breath to breathe. God gives me the right to say what I want to say. Allah, God, gives me that right. Okay? Gives me that right. And the funny thing was so ironic is when she says here, yeah. And Terry and my attorney in California, man, couldn't believe it. They want to know where the fuck did this doctor get this shit from? Is she that fucking ignorant? Oh, she works for the state. So now you got to fight on your hands with the state of the medical board. Here's the number to call out there to file your complaint against her because she had no right to even say none of this because we all know it's not true. We know that this shit's not true what she put out there. We know it. Terry's going to be subpoenaed. My doctor in California is going to be subpoenaed. Doctors out here are going to be subpoenaed. Well, I don't trust the doctors out here no more. But my doctors in California is going to be subpoenaed. See, and this is the funny thing. Everything she put in here was a fucking lie. Let me see. It started at 10:15 to about 12:20, 12:25. Once I said, yes, I'm Muslim, she slammed the computer down and walked out the door. It's over. That's what she did. That's what she did. So she put in here, it was 2 hours and something of an interview. No, it was not 2 hours and something on the interview. It shows on my phone right here. Shows on my phone right here where I text Terry Watkins. on October 10th, October 12th. Okay, good luck. That was at fucking, I text Terry on October 12th. Good luck with it. Okay, thanks, man, Terry. He got that text message at 9. I texted at 9:13 a.m. Okay? And then all of a sudden, he goes, I text Terry back at 12 on October 12th. Wait, you're done? That wasn't even 2 hours. 12:39 p.m. 12 on 10/12/2023 at 12:39 p.m. He couldn't wait a minute. He says here, "What, you're done?" That wasn't even 6 to 7 hours. That was like an hour and 45 minutes. I said, yes. She got there late. They called me saying she was going to be late. She got there at about, let's give it 10:15. Was done. Once I showed her my picture of my wife, I said, well, here's a picture of my wife. Why do you keep that? Because that was the first time I was married. I was very proud of them times. I was a happy man in the world. Okay? And then she turns around and she says, are you Muslim? Yes, I'm Muslim. That's when she canceled everything. And it's right here. Right here. Right there. I don't know if you can see it. 12:39 p.m. Hey, Terry, got done. Terry, I just got done with this. Doctor. Right there. I don't know if y'all can see it. 12:39 p.m. She puts in her report, the interview lasted for 2 hours. No, it did not last for 2 hours. So she's ripping the state off because she has to come from a place called St. Paul, Minnesota's office, where her office is at. So she's ripping the state off by court orders, is what she's doing. And guess what? Everybody else agreed. Everybody else agreed. She's ripping the state off for the money. Everybody else agreed because it takes 6 to 7 hours for a psych evaluation, which is also against the law. Violates your Privacy Act and everything else. Okay? And she claims it took 2 hours and change for the interview. That's what she got down here. Let me see, where is that at? The interview, okay. I went through some of the allegations with Mr. Malillo during the interview, to which he responded by saying something along the line of, he said they fired him because they know I was coming after him with their lawsuit. Okay? You see, this is what she's a liar. She's a fucking liar. You know, the interview lasted, let me see, where's it at? The interview lasted for about 2 hours and something. Let me see, where's this at? Let me see. It says here that I told her, I said, first of all, it's my constitutional rights on the color of law that y'all are violating. And then I also got in here, the judge only did this because I want to represent myself, number one, which I got a constitutional right to do. Number two, I call them some racist motherfuckers, which they are. Number three, they are corrupt. They are corrupt. From the clerks to the courts to the judges in that court are corrupt. They allow perjury, false evidence. They remove documents. They do all of that shit. They are corrupt. Okay? They are corrupt. So why didn't you put that in there? I don't get that part. You know, and that's what I said. Everything's on recording, and I'll play it all in court. I don't give a fuck what the judge got to say. Well, you shouldn't have had to be recorded. I can record whatever the fuck I want to record. The United States Superior Court stated in so many cases already this year, we the people have the right to record all government officials in courthouses, out of courthouses, etc., etc. We have that constitutional right. You cannot deny that right for nobody. For nobody. The United States Superior Court ruled we got the right to record, video record, tape record all government officials. All government officials in the courthouse, in court buildings. We have that constitutional right. Let me see where she got it at. She said it ended it was going on for about 2 hours. It wasn't. She walked out. 12 something, 12:20, 12:25. I'm going to say no, 12:30, because I texted Terry Watkins. Hey, Terry, at 12:38 p.m. Hey, Terry, just got done with that doctor psych evaluation. Terry writes back, how is that possible? It takes up to 6 to 7 hours. He's an attorney. How is that possible? Now, I text the judge I know, California, she's an expert on those. And she also helped write the law in California that is a constitution, the violation of Privacy Act. She states here, are you done? Yes. This was at 12:55 Minnesota time. 12:55 Minnesota time. Now she's already home, up, drinking her coffee, putting the dogs out. I text her, and she's at home. Okay? How did it go? It's hard to say. It ended at about 12:30. How is that possible? How is that possible? What happened? Well, she was more concerned about lawsuits than she was anything else. And she was more concerned, really point blank, about lawsuits and about my nationality. What do you mean? Well, she asked me if I'm Muslim. I said yes. And that's when she ended everything and walked out the door on me. She what? Yes. What's the doctor's name? Stephanie, last name is Bruss in Minnesota. Well, first of all, they violate your constitutional rights of privacy. Second of all, they also violate the federal laws and rules because psych evaluations are unconstitutional. Judges cannot use nothing from a psych evaluation statement whatsoever. That was already ruled, especially in John Adams, federal judge. Said yes. I even told her that. I said, first of all, this is in violation of my constitutional rights, and she keep bringing up that it's a court order. I don't care about a court order because of the fact that this judge has violated my constitutional rights. The only reason why the judge did this is because I said I'm representing myself and all motherfuckers out here are some racist bastards. That's why. I know racists when I see racists. You know, I've seen people with white heads, white sheets over their heads, Klansmen and all of that shit, you know? And that was that. But yet I cannot understand. That was less than what time did you get there? Got there at 10 o'clock. I put in the room at 10:10. She came in at 10:15, 10:16. Talked a bit, did numbers, count numbers forward and backwards. That's it. No pictures, none of that stuff and all of that stuff. And on the fourth time of the number she gave, I had to ask her to repeat it. Oh yeah, that's right. You can hardly hear in your right ear. Yes. And you can hardly see in your right eye. Yes. You know, okay, that I understand. But did she repeat the fourth time of the numbers? I said yes, but she went so fast. I asked her to repeat it again. So I put my ear down, you know, to try to hear it. Okay. And then after that, I told her, I've seen her picture before. Faces I never forget. Yes. Justice, yes, you one thing, you are good about faces. That's for sure. I know. Thank you. Then all of a sudden she goes, what happened after that? After that, she asked me, no, I told her, I said, I saw your picture somewhere before, but it will come to me. And then I remembered when I was thinking, I seen her pictures when she was much younger or whatever with my ex-wife. And she asked, is your ex-wife from Minnesota? I says, yeah, I never knew that Minnesota even existed. She don't put that in the report. I never knew nothing about Minnesota. She didn't put that in the report. Yeah, I heard your recording. Even when you said that, you told her you never knew that the Lakers were originally from Minnesota. Yes, until you was watching Sports Illustrated. Yes, that's all I'm recording. You heard that. Yes. And she just wasn't saying nothing. I said, yes, that's not in the report. Okay. And so then I said, well, here's a picture of my wife. Yeah, I heard when she asked you why you keep it. And you told her what? I told her because I was the first time I was ever happy in my life. That was the happiest time of my life. I was the happiest married man in the world. Yes. Are you Muslim? Yes. That's when the conversation ended. Yeah, I hear you on the thing asking her what's going on. And she walks out. Says, yes. She said it's over. Interview is over. And that was that. I ain't going to read the rest of what I told the judge. I'm not going to read the rest because that's private. Or the rest what Terry said. That's private. Or the rest what this attorney said. That's private. So this is what this doctor did. She claimed the interview went for so long, but it didn't. Proof that it didn't. She needs to be fired. And the state should not be paying her no damn money. And anybody that got an appeal on this doctor here, I got the proof. She lied on her report. She literally lied on her report. It's for all attorneys in Minnesota. This doctor lied on her report. Literally, intentionally, conspiracy, fraud, hate. That's what the doctor did. She should never get paid by the state. She should be removed, disbarred as a psych because she lied. As soon as I said, yes, I'm Muslim, she stopped all conversations. So that means she hates Muslims. That's what that means. She hates Muslims. I wish I could find somebody that does not have so much hate and retaliation and lies in their bodies against other people. But that's hard to find in Minnesota. That's hard to. I was talking to this one girl, and I had to stop, man, because all she did was lie. And this is the problem I have. And even Terry knows this. He says, yeah, because I'm a bad person, because I don't drink, I don't mess with drugs, I don't hurt people, I'm a bad person. I'm strange. Because I don't drink, I don't mess with drugs, I treat a woman like a queen, I'm strange. I don't let nobody hurt no child. I'm strange. I'm strange. I'm strange. And she comes up with some bullshit whatsoever, talking about disorderly in the brain. How the fuck? What is disorderly in the brain? I'm going to look that up right now, people. What is there any such thing as disorderly in the brain? No such thing. No such thing. An adult brain weighs about 3 pounds, okay? About 75% of the brain is made up of water, all right? Which is true. The human brain it's the size for your life, for the year of your life, okay? Headaches, okay? I get headaches, but that don't mean I got brain damage whatsoever, okay? The human brain contains approximately 100 billion nerves. None of my nerves in my brains are gone. And the funny thing about this whole situation is that I talked to a shrink before. I did. And you know what he told me? He said, you know what your problem is, Mr. Malillo? You trust people too much. Stop caring for people. That's what he told me. That's your problem. You care more about other people than yourself. Start thinking and caring about yourself. That's what you do. And this was my doctor. My doctor was the beautifulest doctor I ever met in my entire life. Dr. Ford was one hell of a doctor. She was, even though she knew, and in my records, I'm terrified of needles, you know. And every other time, she always tried to get me blood and stuff. Dracula, that's what they are, Draculas down there. But anyway, she was one hell of a doctor. Dr. Ford is one. Man, her and this other doctor that I see, she's okay, but I haven't seen her in a while because she had babies and stuff, you know. But yeah, this time there's no question. I'm not taking no second psych evaluation. I'm going pro per, and that's it. You violated my constitutional rights, and that's the bottom line. You know, this doctor just committed fraud, perjury, conspiracy, and hate. And she hates Muslims. Anybody that's a Muslim, whether you black, white, green, purple, Mexican, Chinese, Japanese, we got all kinds of Muslim brothers and sisters. But she hates Muslims. She hates Muslims. Because once I said I was a Muslim, she canceled everything. She fucking stopped everything. Once I said I was Muslim, she stopped everything. You know, and it hurts because this fucking lady just lied her fucking out. Oh, she says the evaluation continued of an approximately 2 hours interview. No, it was not 2 hours interview. That's a lie. That's a lie. Started at 10:15 a.m., ended at 12:30 p.m. That is not 2 hours. That is no way near 2 hours. That's a lie. Once I said, yes, I'm Muslim, when she asked me, are you Muslim? I said, yes. She canceled everything. She stopped everything. Everything is what she did. Everything. She's supposed to be open-minded, non-judgable against everybody. Now it's time to judge her. Now it's time to look up her background. Let's see, she drinks. Oh, we checked it out. She gets drunk, she drinks. So now we're going to bring her background into the courthouse. Okay? She smokes her weed. So now we're going to bring all of this into the courthouse. Okay? Let's see how many DUIs she got. Let's see how many parking tickets she got. Now we're going to bring all of her private life into the courthouse because we got that right to do it because you just lied on a document. First of all, it wasn't no 2 hours. You came in at 10:15, ended it at 12:30 when you asked me, oh, you Muslim? Yes, and you stopped everything. You stopped everything behind discrimination and hate because I'm Muslim. Because I am Muslim and disabled. That's what you did. And you lied on here. You've been on disability since 1963. Been on disability since 1963. So you lied on your report. You either typed this up or you had someone type it up. And you can't say, well, the words were mixed or misplaced or whatever. I'm not going for that no more. No, you can't do that. This doctor, this psych evaluation doctor, Stephanie Bruss, is a liar. Is a liar. She works for the courts. She needs to be removed, put in prison for each person's life that she destroyed. She needs to be put away. This doctor needs to be put away. Yeah. Even Terry says, oh, y'all heard the conversation. Let me see. Where did she get this from? You are not like that whatsoever, what it says on the back. I says, yeah. Yeah. Where did she get this shit from? Let me see. What do you want to know about cars? What do you want to know about guns? What do you want to know about conspiracy? What do you want to know about the laws of California and the constitutional right? But I'm supposed to have a brain defect. That's how much this bitch lied on me on her own report. Then I asked Terry, well, can I sue this fucking lady for lying? You can sue anybody, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Now just file your complaint at the medical board. Have them file it in California. They'll read it. They'll also send it out here to Minnesota. I said, yep, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. This lady just lied. Said approximately 2 hours. No, it wasn't no 2 hours. So the state pays this lady, what, maybe $2,500, $4,000, $10,000, just to lie on defendants, just to ruin their lives. That's what this doctor does. I got it right here on my phone, recording and everything. Her expression. When I said, oh, you Muslim? Yes, I'm Muslim. She stopped everything, walked out the door. Walked out. What's going on? It's canceled. Everything's gone. Yeah, that's what she did. That's what she did. Y'all heard Terry. I don't lie to nobody, man. I'm an honest person. I don't drink. I don't mess with drugs. I believe in women's rights. But I don't believe in women when you lie on us. I lost all respect. And he couldn't even figure out how come it's so many pages when it was only an hour and 45 minutes, if that. So yeah, that's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. She come up with 11 pages of bullshit and stuff that I never said to her. I turned myself in on 2-6. Straight to the DA's office. I turned myself in. Okay? Lock me up, motherfucker. You put a fucking bogus arrest warrant on my ass. You committed attempted murder on me. And I'm yelling. That's right, because I was mad. You have no fucking right to put a bogus warrant for my arrest. You have no fucking right to do that. I got a right to curse everybody out if I choose to. That's my constitutional rights. You know? And then the officer, calm down, man, calm down. And I'm sweating and everything. He says, man, you sweating bad. So he's checking my pulse. They call the ambulance. Ambulance come. Bitch, it wasn't because I was getting locked up. Bitch, you crazy? Oh, I forgot. You white. And you hate Muslims. That's what she put in her report. No. Ambulance come. Blood pressure high like a motherfucker, man. They putting the IVs in me and trying to get my blood pressure down. They putting the stuff in my mouth and everything else. Try to get my, I forgot what you call it. Glycerin, whatever the hell you call it. You know? Then I turned myself back in. I went through 2 different counties. They had all the time in the world to get me in front of a magistrate, but they didn't. Not because of medical, so they can't throw that up. It says right there under the Constitution, right there, you have to be immediately taken in front of a judge. Immediately. In front of a magistrate, immediately. The officer has to have the warrant in their possession. They violated your constitutional rights. False imprisonment. You have a right to sue. But she say, I'm supposed to be an expert. Expert of what? Lying to the courts, committing perjury? That's what the fuck you are. You just lied on this whole fucking report. There's nothing in this fucking report that you can back up. Not a fucking thing. You claim no such report exists about my wife abusing me and taking my leg and hitting me and trying to kill me. It's police reports. When I showed this to Terry and I sent it all, he called me back. He said, where's she getting this from? There's police reports on record. Yes. You got copies of them. Yes. Friends back in California got copies on them too. Even the recordings I did during the hearing and in the courts. Even you hear the judge saying, cut his mic off, cut his mic off. That's a threat. I got a right to say what I want to say in the court. The court does not run nothing but be a referee. That's all judges are. The judges got to go by the letter of the law. The judges cannot violate a person's constitutional rights. There was never no probable cause to issue a warrant for my arrest. None whatsoever. I got the right. I'm coming after you what the law says I got a right to do. I hope your family drops dead. I don't give a fuck no more if I hurt somebody's feelings. I don't care. Fuck your feelings ain't got a fucking thing to do with my constitutional rights of freedom of speech. And the funny thing about it, this motherfucker, he drinks like an elephant, okay, alcohol all the time. You got one judge on the bench that gets high and drunk and go fishing while he's drunk, okay? You got deputies that abuse their girlfriends, lie to them, use drugs, both ways, okay? And they got the fucking audacity to try to judge me. Y'all some motherfucking corrupt motherfuckers, man. Crooked ass motherfucking racist Ku Klux Klan motherfuckers in Minnesota, man. Half of y'all some racist Ku Klux Klan motherfuckers. That's what y'all are, man. And I got that fucking right to say that. It's called freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of the press. That's what it's called. This doctor just did a falsified report, a lie. She was already reported in California. California called me about an hour ago. All right, Mr. Manillo, we're going to send this copy to the one out in Minnesota where the complaints go. We're faxing it out there now. Thanks, man. But also, I'm going to give you a number, a case number on it. All right. Wrote the case number down. They even looked up this doctor. And they brought up every case that was overturned because of this doctor, the lives that she has destroyed. People's lives, people's kids' lives that she destroyed and lied about just for the courts. Just for the courts. She lied. She is corrupt. So what gives her the right to say somebody got brain damage when the person never had brain damage before in their life? Where'd she get this shit from? I'm going to tell y'all. Once I said, yes, I'm Muslim, she shut every fucking thing down and walked out the door. So she hates Muslims. She hates guys. She's probably married to a woman, I don't know. But that's what she hates, guys. Okay? I will never go and have another woman doctor for shit. Fuck all women doctors. They are corrupt. I'm sorry. They are fucking corrupt. I don't want no fucking woman doctor. No woman doctor. Person like this needs to be investigated. Needs, it's a shame how a person like this can destroy somebody's life. That is really a shame. With her lies. Never was no 2-hour interview. She walked out at exactly 12:30. I got downstairs, 12:39, called Terry, told Terry everything what happened. I tell 4 people everything what goes on in my life right now. And I ask them to always record it, and they do. I even learned now how to do video recordings. I'm just learning this. Yeah, I just learned how to do video recordings. So we do a lot of video recordings. Let me see the documents. Okay, how do I hold it up? Just hold it up right there, and I can click a picture here from over here. All right. I even do video recordings of everything. Because I don't trust no fucking body. I don't gotta trust a goddamn soul. Only two things Minnesota has: racist and drunk motherfuckers. They got more liquor stores than California do. Oh, and then after the winter, everybody, you see them one minute, they skinny, they come out pregnant the next minute. That's about it. Only fucking three things. Minnesota's not nice. Minnesota's a racist motherfucking state, a hateful state against anybody that's not pure white. And then you got the house nigga Minnesotans. Then you got the house nigga Mexicans. They hate their own kind and do the same thing. Yeah, they racist in Minnesota. Very fucking racist. I met maybe about 7 people that's not racist. People I know in the back, the truck driver, the people over there, him and his wife are nice people. My dentist, let me see, my doctor, because that was the first thing I asked the doctor, are you racist? And you know, that doctor told me, she looked in my eyes and said, I help people to live. That's my job. I am a doctor. That name doctor, I worked hard for. I am a doctor. And I looked at her and I said, ma'am, I just wanted to know. But thank you very much for being honest with me. Thank you very much. I never slurred at no speeching. Never in my whole fucking life. Never slurred at no speech. Even you hear Terry on the phone say, you never slurred at no speech? Yeah. Where's she getting this shit from? Corruption. She needs to be in jail for each family member she destroyed behind her lies. She needs to be in jail and investigated for each family member she destroyed in their lives. She needs to be put in prison. That's where this doctor needs to be put, in prison. When she said he slurs in his speech, I've never slurred in my speech in my life. Never. Everybody, I never heard you slur in your speech. Does she even know what that means? Wait a minute. Brain damage. Where the fuck she's getting this shit from? That's what we all want to know now. Let me see. Has a original disorder of brain damage or a symptoms of physical disorder that would meet the criteria. Under what grounds? And you know what's so funny? They pulled up the appeal case in Minnesota on her, and she says the same thing about a child. She says the same thing on every one of her conclusions. She says the same thing on this guy that's trying to get custody of his child. She says the same thing. So every person in Minnesota has the same fucking thing, but not you. Isn't that amazing? I give you the case right here. In ERJK 872 Northwest 2nd 198. She says the same thing. In each case, the courts give her to do a psych evaluation. She says the same. How the fuck is every nationality has the same systems that she claims that I have? What this bitch thought? We wasn't going to look her up and see how many complaints were filed about her? Is she that stupid? Yes. Check this out. Okay. Her case was put up on the appellate court that the decision hasn't been made yet to come out because her father, in 2019, father was addressing the courts for full custody of his child. He did a psych evaluation by the same doctor. The same doctor put in the report the same thing that's on minds. Each person that filed a complaint against this doctor, even in the matter of the Civil Commission of the state of Minnesota, Medical Board Commission, still has an investigation going on against this fucking doctor. Still. No progress yet. Okay? And she put the same exact words in every guy's psych evaluation. Why is that? Why the fuck is the same words? We pulled up the cases. It is hilarious. Oh, y'all wouldn't believe this shit, man. Here's one in 2019 about this doctor here, okay? 2019. The attorney for the father says, how is it possible that an adult has a medical brain impairment? How is that possible? You know? And so then she says the same exact thing in minds. Up on observing Mr. Malillo has an original disorderly of the brain. Original, well, my conclusion is on Mr. Johnson, well, Mr. How the hell you pronounce his name, in 2019, I feel that under my diagnosis, I feel that he has a disorderly of the brain. Wow. The same fucking thing on this case. And then she got down there the same thing on mine in this report. I feel that whether the defendant is suffering from a mental disorderly. This is this doctor. Dr. Stephanie Bruss. St. Paul, Minnesota. She says the same exact thing on this on the back on page 11 in the courts. On this guy trying to take custody of his child. This bitch needs to be in jail herself, man. This bitch needs to be in jail herself. So the attorney goes, well, that's impossible because of the fact that Mr. Such and Such, which is the father of the child, does not drink, mess with drugs, he works hard, and you're the only one that says he has a disorderly in the brain. How is that possible? Oh, that's my diagnosis. And a mental disorderly. The appellate court overturned this doctor's decision because there was no significant proof but the doctor's word when the judge ordered a psych evaluation on this man. Plus, the attorney kept arguing and arguing this is in violation of my client's Privacy Act. Constitutional right. Same fucking doctor in Minnesota. Then you got another one that happened in 2012. Then you got another one that the hearing didn't even come out yet by the same fucking doctor. By the same fucking doctor. And this defendant he filed a complaint and a lawsuit against this medical practice here in Minnesota, which this doctor's involved, okay, in a Ramsey County District Court, okay, and wow, that there is no evidence whatsoever that the plaintiff such and such has any mental disorderly or brain disorderly. No evidence whatsoever. This is still pending in Minnesota. Let's see what it says here. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, it's still pending right now. This is still pending right now in the appellate court in Minnesota. Then you got another one right here that was just reversed by an affidavit and failed to, the courts had no jurisdiction. The judge that ordered a psych evaluation had no jurisdiction whatsoever, or the prosecution, to request a psych evaluation on Jones. The Appellate Court of Minnesota ruled the evidence failed, the doctor failed, and the courts failed to show that there was any such thing as a medical disorderly or brain disorderly in Mr. Jones, period. You know, it is hereby, evidence presented in the trial is hereby removed and vacated. Affidavit from Mr. Jones. He won. Affidavit from Mr. Jones. 2019. It started in 2019 when he tried to get custody of his kids. The judge had no authority to ask for a psych evaluation on Mr. Jones because he was fighting for custody of his kids whatsoever. The Appellate Court of Minnesota ruled that it was unconstitutional right to ask any father or mother to take a psych evaluation because they're fighting for custody of their child. Wow, ain't that amazing? And this doctor, this same fucking doctor, is one of the claims that she claims on everybody's fucking psych evaluation. She claims the same fucking exact thing. This doctor claims exact thing on everybody's psych evaluation. And we're looking up more. On the back page, she says the same thing on everybody's psych evaluation. And there's 4 cases right now in the Minnesota Appellate Court that is still pending because of this doctor. That is still undecided because of this doctor. Is it a violation of their privacy? Yes. Is it a violation of the constitutional right? Yes. It's unconstitutional to order anyone to take a psych evaluation. And the federal judges and appellate judges have to go by what the United States Federal Appeals Court has to say. All psych evaluations are unconstitutional. A federal judge who forced a psych evaluation over his behavior says order was unconstitutional. Right there. Unconstitutional. Right there. Psych evaluations is unconstitutional. So you wanted me to take a psych evaluation. This lady lies on a psych evaluation. She's been lying on every patient in the state of Minnesota. She needs to be put in a straitjacket and behind bars. She says the same exact thing on every record, every psych evaluation. She says the same exact thing on a guy. So she says the same exact thing on a black, a Mexican. Well, I don't know if her boyfriend or husband is Mexican, but we'll find that out. But she says the same thing on anyone that's not white. What does that tell y'all people? What does that tell y'all people? She says the same exact thing. When he pulled that up, he couldn't believe it. He said, wait a minute, send me a picture of the back of that. Sent it. She said the same thing on this guy here that's fighting for his children. She said the same thing on this woman. Oh, she's Mexican. She said that her orders said the exact same thing of every other patient that she was ordered to take a psych evaluation on, which a psych evaluation is violation is unconstitutional. That's what it says right there. Federal laws says it right there. Unconstitutional. Judge Adam was the smartest judge I ever know because he fought for the constitutional rights. And he wasn't taking that bullshit. The only difference between me and him, he got money. I don't. Judge said, well, ex-wife could take everything. She could do credit card fraud, identity fraud. It's okay for all of that shit to happen. I'm still fighting the IRS for something I never got. How the hell are you going to do a tax thing on me and we're not even married no more? What the fuck is going on? Only in the state of Minnesota. Only in the state of I hate Minnesota with passion. I just want to hurry up, finish it up. But then I found out, no, just go in the league, man, because you could continue your lawsuits in California. That's right, I can. I could still sue the state of Minnesota and California. I sure enough can. That's right. That's fucking right. You know, it's amazing because she says the same thing on every client that the courts order her to see. Exact same words. How is that possible? How the fuck is that possible? And she says the same exact things on all guys. So how is that possible? Every case that's being appealed in Minnesota court right now because of her are all guys, not one woman. All guys. So that means she is biased, she is prejudiced, and she is hateful. That's what it means. Every court, St. Paul court, all guys. All guys. All guys. Every case is a guy behind this medical doctor. Oh, here's one that just settled out for $5 million. Yeah, here's one that settled out for $5 million on a Psych in Minnesota. $5 million just settled out. Oh, shit. They got a case going on now with the Deputy District Attorney's Office in Minnesota under Psych. Dr. Sykes. They're being investigated. There's several here. There's like 17 of them here that's being on investigation in Minnesota from the complaints by the medical board. People file complaints against these psych doctors. This is 2023. Investigation been going on since 2021 on several cases, approximately about 75 cases from St. Paul, Minnesota, to a place, White Bears or some shit. And then there is even more. There's also an investigation of an insurance company. Minnesota Department of Insurance is investigating several doctors for insurance fraud and tax fraud in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and St. Paul, for charging the state for seeing clients by court orders, but they've never spent that much time with the clients. Holy shit. Holy shit. Psych evaluation doctor gets sued in federal court for abuse of power, falsifying reports on a client. He was fighting for custody of his child, but this also includes issuing constitutional law in violation of Privacy Act. This doctor is being sued in Minnesota. The party filed a $950 million lawsuit against this doctor, against a doctor. Matter of fact, the same first name, but it has a different last name, against this doctor for abuse of power, falsified medical reports on a client, falsified records to the courts, perjury. Wow. Then you got another one. You got a lot of psych evaluation doctors in Minnesota being sued. A whole lot. Case continued. You got one that just continued on May 2nd, 2023. Case continued is further being investigated because the doctor first name and last name, the first name is the same, last name is different, out of St. Paul, Minnesota Superior Court. God damn, you got over thousands and thousands of cases against psych evaluation. Wow. Yeah, but she just lost the ruling for her claim against this guy, against two guys. One of them is still in court. No decision yet because she lied. I want those attorneys to get in touch with me. Yeah. Yeah, they need to put her behind bars, man. That's what they need to do, put her behind bars. So we're looking, and my buddy goes, I'm about to send you something. Does the back of your page look like this? I said, yeah. Take a picture of it. All right, so I took a picture of it and I sent it to him. And he so we get on this video talk, right? And he's holding up both mine and this other person's out of Minnesota. Do you see any difference on the back page? Yeah, let me put it up close to you. Read it. Holy shit. They both say the same fucking thing. I said, yep, they both say the same thing. They both say the same exact thing. We couldn't believe it, man. And then he goes, I'm looking at other cases that she did by court order. Every court she did by court order says the same thing on the back of the page. And it's all on guys. It's all on men. Not one woman. Not one woman. All on guys. That right there should have opened up the judge's eyes or the court's eyes or a big investigation automatically. All guys. She put the same fucking exact thing on the back of theirs. Of her conclusion. The same exact fucking thing. On page 11, mine's, and this says, let me see. Care and treatment. Direct care and treatment. You know, filed in District Court, State of Minnesota, 10/27/2023 at 12:21 p.m. All right, so she did the same exact thing on each guy in Minnesota. She destroyed their lives. She destroyed their lives. That's what she did. She needs to be in jail. Ain't too many women that she wrote the same thing on. Oh, no. But only on guys. Only on guys. And there's a lot of cases right now in Minnesota appellate court that has not made a decision yet. On a couple of them, they made a decision where it was in violation of federal laws. Federal laws override state laws. No ifs and no buts. And Constitution. Violation. Violation. Peace out.